Hey everybody, how you doing? This is Emp One Way here on Got Next Gaming, and we are going to do a little something different here with this game Firewatch, which has been out for a couple weeks now. Really interesting game, really compelling. Absolutely loved it. There were parts of this game that just completely made no sense. At the end of it, all said and done, the end of the day, nothing made sense. Complete sense. There was a lot of open holes. I don't know if it was part of the story, part of the plot, but from a team of developers like this, where they worked on this game for 2 years, to have these plot holes just made absolutely no sense to me whatsoever, and it kind of bugged me, and it's been bugging me, and it's something that I've discussed with friends and people here and there. I even talked about it with my wife, who helped me out on the first video for this and everything else. So what I've decided to do here is something very, very different, and we are going to go in and we are not going to talk to Delilah at all and see what happens. We're going to completely ignore her and see what happens when we ignore Delilah without answering the radio or anything. Let's see what happens here. Should be interesting. We're going to go through the intro again. Of course, I'm going to change some of my answers from previous when I started this before and see what we get. Boulder, Colorado, 1975. So we know that this is a very story-driven game. A lot of interaction needs to happen here in order for the game to play out. But like I said, we're going to find out what happens when we don't talk to Delilah. We're going to go through this part here and answer the questions a little bit differently than I did the first time around. You see Julia. She's about your age, late 20s, laughing with well-dressed professors and grad students from nearby CU Boulder. You, Henry, are out drinking with your pals. You approach her. You are drunk. So what's your major? You're pretty. So we're going to go with you. So what's your major? You slur the word major, and it smells like cores. You give an awkward smile. Evolutionary biology, she says. And I'm a professor. Cool, you reply. What's yours, she asks. She sniffs the air. Toxicology? Was that a burn, you ask? She says, definitely. Worried she's hurt your feelings, she asks if you want to split a cheeseburger. 1 week later, you are Julia's boyfriend. So you still get that burger no matter what you answer there. So that's pretty cool. A little bit different dialogue, though. We're in the elevator. We're going to grab our backpack. We're going to get off the elevator and go to our truck. Because we know how this plays, so we might as well just go along with it and do what we got to do to get this story going. You date for over a year. She drives you absolutely nuts. It's great. You move in, you share an apartment near the school with a view of the mountains. You two drink beers out on the deck. You drink beer just about anywhere. Life is good. I think there's more of a sexual innuendo there than we realize. Julie wants to get a dog. A fur baby. There's a scruffy, undersized beagle. Julie is in love. She wants to bring it with her to class. There's also an intimidating, gentle-eyed German Shepherd. Nothing bad could happen to Julia while walking this dog. It's badass. We're going to go for the beagle this time. We went for the German Shepherd named Mayhem last time. So, Bucket's a good dog, and a week later, you've totally forgotten about the other one. Julie loves him. You love him too. 1979, you talk out on the deck. It's summer, 9:30 p.m., and the heat still radiates off the high desert. What do you think about kids, she asks. Kids, they're not very smart or good at much. I'm saying if you and I have a couple of little idiots. That would be pretty good. Why not? In that case, we should probably get married. Yeah, I would like that, you say. These kids are going to be screwed up enough. It's probably for the best that the parents are hitched. You say she's absolutely right. Of course you do. Alright, we're getting out of the truck. We're getting up to the camp area. And again, we know how this plays out, so no need to look around all of this stuff. Let's run our way into here and get the story going. I can't wait to ignore Delilah completely. 1980, it's a Thursday night, and Julia is 4 hours late. She doesn't call, you're worried, and getting angrier by the minute. She walks in after you've gone to bed. Now, if this was like 2016 in this game, you'd be texting the crap out of her, and you know it. She's not quite drunk, but she's clearly been having a fun time. You fight when she gets In between the sheets. Let's get mad. I'm not going to ignore her. I really should ignore her. Let's ignore her. You don't touch each other all night. The next day you feel guilty for being so angry and ask about her evening. She says it was great. You hold onto a teeny pill of resentment. You make some coffee and go to work. If I have a job, I go to work. I wasn't sure if Henry had a job during all of this, answering it the other way. 1981, Julia still likes to draw. She draws plants from her research. She draws all the places you go. She draws you. We're going to frolic like a Victoria's Secrets model. Because we're manly enough. Very nice. Whatever that means. And we're hiking some more. It's very orange. 2 forks. Coming up on it. We're going to hop over the log. Yep. I don't know if that's a sunset or a sunrise. It's a sunset. 1982. During the summers, you and Julia enjoy walking Bucket at night. There's a festival in town. It brings in folks from faraway places. One of them tries to mug you with a knife. Bucket gets kicked by dog. And Julia yells. She gets flustered and has trouble speaking when she's stressed. You confront the attacker. Let's just scare him away instead of beating his goddamn face in. You reach into your pocket like you've got a gun and threaten to kill him. You manage to scare all 3 of you. He runs away. Julia asks you to take a different path from that day forward. You say, okay, you don't want to go that way either. From then on, you walk by the river. 1984. Plans to have kids gets waylaid by work. Julia gets offered a job at Yale. Yale's in Connecticut, 2,000 miles away. It's a great job. Associate department chair. She wants to move. You absolutely do not. We're going to convince her not to take the job this time. You tell her that it means you two won't have a family. She says that's BS. She's totally right. She asks if taking her job means you won't come with her. And you say yes. Angry. BS. Again, BS. But she decides not to take it. 1985. Julie's asked to leave Boulder on paid leave after having an episode, quote unquote. She lost it on a colleague for borrowing books that were important to her research. This dialogue does not change. She seems to remember. She didn't remember she happily loaned them to him 2 days prior. So this doesn't change whether you go to Connecticut or she goes to Yale or not. She was found crying in the stairwell. You make macaroni and drink wine and try to forget about it. We're going to go that way instead of the other way. It works. You watch Dallas on TV and sleep together on the couch. All right. Now, I wanted to look around, see if I could do something different here other than pick up the journal. I guess not. I guess all we can do is do the journal. That's cool. There's me frolicking. Whoa! How are you doing? Bucket is getting older. Julia comments that it's kind of nice because he gets in less trouble around the house. A week later, she goes back to the university. 1987, Julia's affliction gets worse. She can't remember things in class. Her research is in shambles. She drives her car to the next town over for no particular reason and has to be brought home by the police. She is devastated. She is sent home on permanent medical leave. Bummer, dude. Some days you get the Julia who calls you a dope and your unborn children little idiots. Other days you get a stranger. She pulls you into bed to make love. After 5 minutes, she goes into panic believing her dad is at the door. Yeah, that's definitely a mood killer. You tell her family they are crushed and begin to make trips to and from their home in Australia to visit her. For a while, your friends come by with little things to brighten the day. She gets worse. You spend your days following Julia around the house. You count the seconds between the 2 weekly visits from Daniel, the nurse. He suggests that Julia could live somewhere else, somewhere in 24-hour care, a home. It sits with you for a couple of months. You decide to move her into a full-time care facility. You're determined to take care of her by yourself. I'm still having trouble with this decision, but we went the other way last time, so let's see what happens when we change all of our answers. And we're back on the path. Let's run. Run. All right. Here we go. We're going to walk across this. And we want to run because I want to catch that. I want to catch the buck. I want to catch the buck. Let's catch him. Oh, much closer. We're much closer. Oh. I wanted to pet him. Her family agrees with your decision. You find a fantastic place in Boulder and move her there. You see her every day, then every other day. You go out to the bar with your friends. It's not the same. You get the feeling that every wife tells her husband, if you ever put me in a home like Henry did, I will cut your balls off. You just slowly decide not to see your old friends that much. "1989, Julia's sister Susan moves to Boulder to be close to her. She visits her every day. You go with her some of the time. Susan buys you an old typewriter and urges you to use it if you won't see a therapist. You won't. You always really like Susan." No, he's going to hit on the sister. Months go by, Bucket dies. Julia doesn't remember him when you tell her. That sucks, dude. Sometimes it takes her a minute to lock in on you. In the back of your mind, you believe it's because you see her less and less, and seeing her less and less makes her forget you more. You think. Summer's coming, and you see an ad in the paper for a job. Time to get away. You take it. Enter the lookout tower. Now, I don't know how this is going to go, because, like I said, it's very story-driven, and you have to kind of rely on Delilah. However, we may be forced to talk to her, but maybe we'll just ignore her as much as we possibly can, or ignore her completely if we can. And if we can't ignore her completely in the beginning, maybe we will not tell her about Julia at all. We'll try to go with the answers that don't tell her about Julia.
This is Thoroughfare Tower. Come in.
Contact supervisor on the radio.
I know you're there. Your lights are on.
I'm not talking to you because you creeped me out when I played this the first time.
Hello? Two Forks? Come back. Pick up your radio.
Cookbook. Water jug. Bed. Broken clock. 4:25. 27. Turn off the lights. See what happens. We went to the corner. Okay, so she just stops talking altogether. So we can go outside, we can look around. We turned off the lights so she doesn't, maybe she doesn't know we're here. There's her lookout. Alright guys, nothing's happening, so I don't know what else you would be able to do from this point. So let's answer her.
Hello? Whoever this is?
Your lights aren't on.
Yeah, no. You can see me?
I can see all the lookouts. It's Henry, right?
Yeah.
I'm Delilah.
Yeah, that's what the guy said on the phone.
So what's wrong with you?
Excuse me?
People take this job to get away from something. So what's wrong?
What's wrong with you?
That's a
Look, I just hiked for 2 days, so I don't really follow whatever it is you're doing right now.
You take a stab at what's wrong with me.
Fine, then can I sleep forever?
Sure, buddy. Okay, now go ahead.
Okay, you've killed 3 husbands. You're a black widow and you're just out here until the heat dies down and then you'll kill again.
Ooh, very good. Bravo, Henry.
Okay, I sleep now?
Not quite. Now you.
Okay, good night, bye.
Let's see. I don't know anything about you, but 9 times out of 10, folks out here simply got dumped.
Huh, is that it?
Close?
Good night.
Good night. Welcome to the job.
So there you have it. Don't answer Delilah, and it'll just go on forever. Change your answers, and that's what you get. Thanks for checking that out with me, and we'll try to continue this with different answers going forward. Bye now.